Yo, what's going on everybody? So welcome back. This is another build. It's going to be a dock build. It's just like it's pretty much a port. It's not really a dock, it's a big dock made all out of stone. We start off here in sort of like a fisherman's cabin. It's a nice little chilling area. You got your forge, and this is all I can upgrade at the moment because I've just been building in the game instead of actually progressing. But I just love the building. It's really good, really easy. But yeah, so this is sort of an outside area, chilling. You can unload all your carts, whatnot, when you come back from your adventures on your boats. It's all walled off, so your boats and ships aren't going to go floating off. They're not going to be attacked by mobs that are going to come and, try to steal your loot. All this wood that's on the outside here will end up decaying, but it only goes down to half. So it's just going to give it like an older look, kind of like that. When it rains, it'll decay, but it won't look all too bad. As you can see, the wind's picking up, the waves are getting bigger, but the ships aren't moving. I'm gonna stay here with you. So yeah, over here is just another little decorating. I just plonked a bunch of wood and stone across here just to make it look sort of snazzy. In case you fall in, you can get up with a couple walkways and stuff. You can go and walk across the top of that wall. I'll just show you that real quick. But I really wanted to build something like this instead of just having like a small wooden dock because eventually I'm building a big village in the process, and I want to wall off the whole thing eventually. So I thought I'd start with the dock. So it's pretty cool. Took me a while, like 2 or 3 days to build it all, so farming all the stone was a pain. But that's just how it is. So I hope you enjoy this. I'll walk you through sort of how I built it. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe if you want to see some more builds. I got a really cool one for my next video, so stick around for that. And let's do it. Let's get into it. I'll show you how to build. So this part here was definitely the most annoying, tedious thing that I had to do, was extending out the land and trying to get it in a straight line. That way I could have somewhere to walk across, so I could actually build a stone wall going across this whole area, because I had a vision in my head on how I wanted this to look, like a nice big squared out big area. And so I started by lifting the ground from each side of this little indent into the beach. I've done the same on the other side as well. It was quite annoying to get it straight because I couldn't line it up. As you'll see in a minute, I couldn't line it up with the other one, so I had to actually go back and mine out the lifted area that I built up, and then re-lift up another area to make sure it was straight. So next thing you're going to be doing is building this stone wall, the outer wall. And so I was using those stone brick walls, the big ones, to sort of make one big wall going across to the other side of this opening in the land here. And then I go back and I break a hole in a certain area for your ship to go in and out of. So building it across here was quite difficult to sort of get the stability, because you actually have to reach down and place it on the seabed and then build it up. And then what I did after I sort of finished doing the wall was just putting these stone floor tiles across, so that way I could keep moving my workbench and the stone cutter, because it only has a certain area that you can work in, so you got to keep moving it. Unfortunately it was quite tedious, but keep moving it so you can keep building. So after I made the hole in the wall and had the wall going across the whole thing, I removed that hole in the middle, and then what I ended up doing was just making another level of these stone walls going up, so it gives me sort of like a foundation of what it's going to look like. Like I said, it was all just freestyle. I was doing this all in my head, but it did work out really nice in the end. So now from here, I found where I wanted the sort of start of the whole dock area. I made it like a wall and carried that going all the way across. Linking them up was kind of tricky, but it worked. As you can see, I had to keep moving my stone cutter as well, and just like here, it was kind of tricky because you have to place it on the ground, otherwise that happens and it just break, and then sort of line it up with the one on top. That was the hardest part, with making these walls. It was really annoying to do. But so basically, yeah, I made a whole wall going all the way to the end. As I got to the end of this area, it appeared that the ground was in the way. So I had to mine out a big chunk, a big section, this whole area. Had to mine it, make it flat, so that I could actually place my walls in there. So this part here is pretty straightforward, just rising the level of the stone wall again, carrying it all the way down to the end. On the end here I decided to sort of make like a tower, but it wasn't really working out in the end on making it perfectly circular. But I thought I'd add in some sort of lookout tower, if you must. So this is the lookout tower that I was building, and as you can see it's not perfectly circular, but I was adding these little stones, popping them out here and there to make it look kind of like a castle vibe. Again, just increasing the wall another level, going all the way across. So here I carried the wall on down a little bit from that wall there. I finished that defense wall, and now I sort of got like a corner coming around the end. So there was the small watchtower that I decided to construct. Didn't really end up perfect, but it's looking okay. So there's nothing in the middle at the moment. I'm gonna fill that in later, but the wall carries all the way down here. And then this is where the actual dock is going to be. So I'm going to make there's going to be a big area, and then it's going to be filled in with those stone tiles in a minute. So I'm going to carry this wall going all the way down to meet up with the other side, if I wouldn't get annoyed by all those necks. That pond seemed to spawn a lot of them. So we connected the second wall now to the end, and I'm just mining out this whole big grassy section. It took me a while to mine it all. So just like this, building those 4 tiles all the way across. And I feel like you don't really need much of a talk about this one, because it just took a while. Very tedious, but just put those tiles from one side to the other and just fill in that whole area. It's a lot of stone. So that's it, just filling in the last step of the floor, last few tiles, and the whole floor will be filled in. Should be looking real nice. It's a real big area, a lot of room to work with, but yeah, if you just follow along, it should look like this. Next, what we're doing is building a wall on this far side. This is going to be where the cottage house sort of thing's going to be. Should line up with when you make that outer defense wall as well. That's on the other side. So here now we're doing the other side of the wall, basically just copying what we did on the first bit. Just building this going across, and then doing like that nice little pop out of stone to give it that castle vibe. So as you see here, you just want to carry it going all the way down, and then I got to like a corner. Oh, it was annoying every time I fell out of the water, because I had to swim back, go all the way around, and then climb back up. Oh, what a pain. I apologize for this part being at night time, but we just built some stairs going up to connect to that wall, just for some easy access. got to make sure you got that walls underneath just for the stability so they don't break. But yeah, basically just some stairs so you can actually use it as a walkway. And once I had those stairs done, I got my floor tiles and yeah, built the walkway going all the way across, all the way to the other side. So next I built a wall on this side next to that watchtower, built a wall going all the way down, and on the very top of the wall, again, those pop out rocks to give it a nice castle vibe. Back on the other side, filling in those floor tiles again. I had a ladder in there because I actually fell in, and luckily I had some wood, so I could build my way out. But yeah, just building the wall tiles going all the way across. So I decided to put in some floor tiles in here to make a floor, so you could actually get in and stand and walk around. It's not the prettiest of floors because I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this, but I'm sure you guys could make a prettier version, a bigger one. I mean, this is all just for inspiration. It's not a proper like how-to guide, but just showing you what I built, how I built it. So next I carried on that wall, brought it all the way back down, and just carried on with the castle look to the top of it. So after falling in about 1,000,000 times and not being able to get out, I realized I needed some sort of walkway to actually be able to climb back up. So that's what I'm doing here. I just brought this out and made some sort of like steps at the end. So that's basically all that was, nothing special, just a little kind of like a wharf thing going out with some steps at the end. So here's the main part, building the actual I think you call them wharfs, I don't know, just some wharfs going out. Pretty simple, just built some walls going all the way out and increasing to the same level as the actual the dock unloading floor area. Same again, just built another one a bit further out on the other side. So now is where I decided to make that shelter that I showed you at the start. I won't do much talking here, I'll just sort of let it play out and you can see how I did it. So after all the logs were placed down, I placed all these walls connecting to each pole, going all the way around this whole sort of structure. I ended up destroying and moving these logs so they proper lined up with the planks. And now to begin the roof, you just get your 36-degree thatch roofs and placed it going all the way around the whole area. When it got to the corners, I got these inverted 36-degree ones and placed it in the corners, and then carried on with the roofs going around. And then on top of that, I got a 45-degree roofs and carried on going all the way around there, and also on the corners getting the inverted ones, and also placing that rooftop that goes on top to connect the two. With the center roof here, there was enough room to put in those like cool looking roofs, so I just connected those two 45-degree roofs together and looked alright. I went along and placed these wood beams going across through the middle to match the actual roof bits on the other side. Underneath this area, I destroyed those wood planks and just placed a couple small ones to connect it to the actual roof, because I didn't actually need them in there. I thought I would for the structure, but no. And then just went around and placed these logs to connect everything, make it look a bit more fancy. And then what's a Viking structure without the cross at the top, you know? So I had to go around and place these beams on the edges. Also filled it in with the wooden planks and then carried on the beams going across the bottom. So now at the front, I started making like a fence. So I just got these wood logs, these half ones, and placed a couple around there, and then got another few logs to connect them up together. Did the same again on both sides, just making these fences going across. So I built these stairs, kind of like a step down. Unfortunately I wasn't recording when I did it, but you can sort of see what it's like. It's just a few stairs with planks at the end. That's in case you fall in the water and need to get up again. and I thought it looked nice as well to put these beams going all the way around all the stone structures. So now from here we just place stairs going all the way across, and you gotta place these stones underneath so that it actually has something to sit on. I went around and lifted the ground as well, so it looks a bit more natural, so it sort of fades into the stairs there. So for the house you can make it anything you want, but if you want it to look like my one does, then stick around and watch me build this one.